Hello everyone, I hope you're all doing very well on this lovely Sunday morning. So what we're going to be doing today is testing the roll rate compared to each other of, well, basically all of the fast jets in DCS world. Now we've already done these planes, we've tested them for, maximum speed at low level, maximum speed at high level, maximum dive speed, maximum climb rate, maximum turn rate, maximum acceleration, and God knows what else we've done. We've got a whole playlist of 50 videos now we've built up on this. And now is roll rate. I've never been interested in roll rate. It's never seemed really important to me. You're never really going to use your maximum roll rate in combat, or I don't think so anyway. But then again, you're never going to use your maximum speed. You're never going to use most of the things that I show. So this really is just as relevant. So let's just get it done. The way I'm going to test it is I'm going to be flying along in the aircraft at 300 knots, true TAS, at about 1,000 feet to ASL, just so that we can have a bit of room for safety. On a count, I'm going to hit the stick to the side, do 3 rolls, and I will measure the time it takes to do the 3 rolls exactly, divide it by 3, and whatever I need to do to get degrees per second of roll of each aircraft. I'll do the test at 2 different speeds, 300 knots, and I'll do it at 600 knots. Now, generally speaking, the faster we're going and the lower we're going, the faster the roll rate will be, at least to an extent. So this will cover us for, quite fast rolling and fairly slow rolling. And we'll do them all at the same altitude. Now, I'm aware that if I go up in altitude, air density gets less and, our roll rate will diminish. But it will have maybe not exactly the same, but a similar effect of going slower at the same lower altitude. So I've kind of covered that in doing the 300 knots as well as the 600 knots. So I think that's all we need to do today. All of our normal tests parameters will apply. Our aircraft will all have 10% gas. They will have gas burn turned off. We will have our standard of 20 degrees centigrade Celsius at sea level. I know that's not the official standard, but that's just how we've done it in DCS. And I've done all the other tests now. 20 degrees, 29.92 inches mercury QNH. No stores on the plane. Pylons removed. Everything I can do to get them lighter. Now, I'm aware that in some of these planes, I don't actually know which, F-14 I think, F-5, maybe the SUs, you can turn the AFCs off, which will de-restrict. A lot of these planes are actually restricted in their roll rates for whatever reason. Maybe they'll black the pilots out if they roll too quickly. So a lot of them are restricted, and you can de-restrict them, but we're not going to be doing that today. We're going to be using all the aircraft in their default condition at those speeds. I will look in another video at the fact that we can therefore increase those roll rates using de-restrictors, but that's not for today. As for predictions, it's pretty simple. Wingspan, the bigger the wingspan, the slower it's going to roll for basic aerodynamic air resistance, I suppose. Just always assumed, the kind of longer and straighter the wings, the longer it's going to take to roll. So I guess the quickest ones are going to be probably MiG-21, Mirage 2000, that kind of thing. I stand to be corrected as ever. F5 should be good. It's very, very, very short, small wingspan. The more kind of rocket shaped, I guess, the quicker it's going to roll. Right, so let's get on with it. We'll start with our Vigan. And off we go. Oh, a little bit fast already. So I'll just go left because I'm left-handed. So that's 300. So 3, 2, 1, go. Right, that's already not going to work. What I'll have to do then is point up in the sky before we do it. So let's try again. And I was at the wrong altitude anyway, so silly cap. So we're going to be pointing up in the sky like this, pitching up. 3, 2, 1, go. I'm not going to put any pitch stick in at all. Oh shit! Peow! Managed it. Right, okay, that's harder than I thought, but it is what it is. Now we're going to go 600 knots. 600, pitch up. Sorry, I've got to do the countdown, otherwise it's not going to work. 3, 2, 1, go. And 1 for luck. Woo! Okay. I know I'm not being perfectly accurate in terms of altitude. I really don't think it's going to matter in terms of the milliseconds that we're measuring. The speed's the most important thing. Right, Wigan done. Aviate B. It should be interesting. I think this is going to be quite good. It's, little stubby little wings, little rocket body. This is a great plane. I never really get to fly it, but what a great plane this is. Real beast. So powerful. In the acceleration test, it was fast to accelerate in the half of the fighters. 3, 2, 1, go.
Caution, caution. Caution, caution.
That's great roller.
Caution.
Did you see that roll rate? That was effortless.
Roll out, roll out.
Right, 600 knots. I know we can't quite get there, but we'll do our best. If this plane had a fighter shape, it would be so fast, I think. Maybe it wouldn't actually. Maybe the engine just doesn't allow it. I think it's too high bypass. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway.
Pull up, pull up.
I think that's as close as we're going to get to 600. So 3, 2, 1, go. Look at the roll rate on it. I could do this all day.
Caution, caution.
In fact, the more rolls I'll do, the more accuracy I'll actually get. So,
pull up, pull up.
if I do more than 3, it will just increase the accuracy of my measurement. And the next is F14. This will be interesting because it will be slow, it will be wings out. Fast, it will be wings in. So we should have a massive disparity here. Going to take 10 minutes to get in as usual. Well, any effing time, sweetheart. There we go. Okay, we're off. Leave the AFC as it is. Not going to mess around with anything. 3, 2, 1, go. Slow. 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 Right, let's step this up. 3, 2, 1. I'll just do it. Massively increased roll rate. Oh, she's quite happy here, look. She'll do this all day. Now, she should be falling out of the sky, so I'm not sure what's going wrong here. There may be a problem here. There we go, about time. Alright. That's enough data for us, isn't it? F15. I expect it to be just somewhere in the middle.
Bingo fuel. Bingo fuel.
What the hell is that thing on the top right? I've never seen that before. No idea. Watch this. I learned this the other day. Look at that. Has anyone ever done that before? What the hell is that? Do this in a Tomcat or something. It looks amazing. Oh shit, how do I get out? Right, come on then. Let's get to work. 3, 2, 1, go! It's actually pretty good. I mean, scrubbed off a hell of a lot of speed doing that, but it's just how it is, just how this plane does it. 600 knots. 3, 2, 1, go! Whoa, roll rate! I can feel my head getting woozy. I can feel it getting woozy and red. And that's purely because of the roll rate. It's kind of, you know, my understanding is that one of the reasons why the kind of F-16 cockpit's kind of up so high in compared to the kind of longitudinal axis. So our head is not moving as much as the F-15. Anyway, whatevs. Next. Right, F5, let's go. Up to the sky. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, she's slow at this altitude. She's slow. Okay, speed up. What's up? 3, 2, 1, go. And it's F5 with a restrictor. F86. Now this has got swept back ailerons, so I expect this to be pretty crap. Not much roll authority, but we'll see. I'm usually wrong. 3, 2, 1, go. And speed up. 600 knots. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, now I wasn't level. 3, 2, 1, go. It's not going to happen. Why does that black out in this plane whenever I roll? That's stupid, right? soon as I get down to get near 600 knots, it does well. I'll see what I can do with that anyway. It's the best I can do. Fairly long straight wings, so probably pretty bad. Probably a whopping great restrictor on it as well. Alright, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. 3, 2, 1, go. This is pretty slow. It feels like it's restricted at this speed. It feels like it's restricted for G limits. Oh, that does feel slow. That feels really slow at 600 knots compared to the F5 and stuff like that. There's got to be a restriction, hasn't it? Oh, I've got my things on. As proved, they don't make any difference for weight and aerodynamics anyway, so there you go. Right, next. Okay, make 15 for what it's worth. Get some. Get some. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, this isn't very good. Oh, this isn't very good at all. This really has the problem of swept ailerons then, doesn't it? Okay, 2 is all we're going to manage. That's probably going to be the worst of the lot. 600 knots. Go. Okay, I'm pretty much got no aileron control at the moment because of aerodynamics, buffeting. You know what I mean? I'll try. Haha, that is it, full roll. Due to aerodynamics, the wing sweep, reasons I just don't really understand. I'm not even sure this has got hydraulics in the ailerons. I might just not have enough arm power to move this thing. That's interesting, isn't it? I mean, it's so long ago since I did the tutorials of this, I can't remember if they're hydraulic driven ailerons or not. And even if they are, I think there's problems with wind slippage and stuff like that on them, and just not having any effect. So all sorts of problems with it looks the coolest plane in the world, possibly, but all sorts of aerodynamic problems with this aircraft. So there you go. That's the best we can do with that. Next, MiG-19. Woo! Don't get to use this very much. I like this plane. I know it's got its problems and stuff, but I think she's a cool bird. Right, concentrate, Supercat. Let's go for our roll. So 300 knots. 3, 2, 1, go. Hey, look at that! Now, I'm no big fancy aerodynamicist, but what the hell is that all about? Big swept back, big fences, loads of slippage. That seems too good for this aircraft, doesn't it? With those really swept back ailerons, they just don't work. Swept back ailerons just don't work. So why? And the wingspans, well, about average, I suppose. But why the hell was that so good? Interesting. Anyway, let's carry on. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, amazing! Amazing! Look at that. Great. I mean, I'm certain that is not accurate, but for this aeroplane, but that's cool. I need to get flying this plane more. It's nice and OP. Anyway, that's that. Next. Now we have the beast from the east. The good things from this, we've got non-swept back ailerons. All the lessons learned from the 50s. So get ready for watch this. Such a beast. If you can fly this, you are manly. And I will never doubt you on anything you ever do. 3, 2, 1, go. Bit of a shit start. Good roll rate, MiG-21. Very good. Boosters on! Freedom! Terrible external sounds. Hashtag get that sorted. Hashtag it's been like 4 years like that. 3, 2, 1, go. Whoa, roll rate. Woohoo! Look at that little lawn dart. Meow. Splonk. Look at that. Piau. Ich bin ein Berliner. Okay, next. Okay, Supercap, Super Mirage. Uh-oh. Why doesn't she like me? Oh, we're back. Do you want to be any louder with that? Thank you. Right, Mirage. Never get to fly this bird. Cool bird. And 3, 2, 1. Meh. Pretty responsive. Nice. Probably very limited by the fly-by-wire, but all round, pretty good. 600 knots. Go. 3, 2, 1. Go. Ooh, nice. This may be the best. Look at that. That was so good. Tiny wingspan. Non-swept-back ailerons, flapperons, elevons, whatever they're called in this bird. And just everything in its favour. Everything in its favour to roll rate. So I think Supercap thinks that's going to be the winner, but we'll see. This will be
Fuel,
terrible.
1500.
This is 25 tons of pig iron and long straight wings. 3, 2, 1, go. Actually feels quite good. It's got some good authority. Oh, right. Yeah, I've missed a whole section about this, haven't I? I've been talking about, all this time I've been talking about ailerons only. Now, a lot of these planes have, oh god, my brain's not really working today, but a lot of these planes like this turn via the stabilizers here. The elevators can actually work to do the roll. So on a plane like this that doesn't have a great deal of roll authority from the ailerons, will have this, and maybe that is why the MiG-19 was so good. Maybe that was because it had these guys doing the roll authority at the back here, rather than the ailerons. So maybe it is correct then. Maybe I was wrong. That's a very possible thing. Anyway, let's carry on. So my argument was this would be crap because it's big, it's heavy, and it's got big straight wings, but it's got much more roll authority from the rear. So interesting. Same with the F-15. Same with F-18. 3, 2, 1. Zabudio. It feels very restricted. It's restricting the fly-by-wire. It's restricting it. I can feel it. So yeah, it's got bucket loads of authority, but I think that's fly-by-wire is restricting it, which is fine. That's how we're doing it. Next, I don't know why we're doing this, but we've got an SU-33. Just because. 3, 2, 1, go. So it's really fast at this low limit because all that authority it's got from the rear.
Pull up. Pull up.
3, 2, 1. Ooh, yeah, that's slower, faster. Did you see that? It's much faster at 300 knots. Why is that? Again, it feels like it's really, intervening and making it really limiting me at fast speed. It must be. It's got to be to stop me G'ing out, isn't it? All I can think it is be. Same with the flanker. It really slows my roll rate down on purpose at high speeds, or you know, the strength of the wing or whatever. Okay, last one.
Fuel 1500.
This plane is got all the roll authority
800.
from the elevators,
Fuel
stabilizers,
500.
but all the madness
Bingo
of
fuel.
please stop talking to me. But all of the madness of the MiG-29 is just a crazy death wish plane. Again, big respect to anyone that flies it. MiG-29, fly you. 300 knots, near enough. 3, 2, 1, go. Ooh, interesting. I'm only going to manage 2. Whee! That's the best I can do. Power. God, it's fast. God, it's fast. That is a fast aeroplane. 3, 2, 1, go. Again, feels restricted. Feels like something's getting in between me and the stick.
Pull up. Pull up.
Meow. Oh, cool picture, right? Well, that's it. Now I'm going to go and compute those results, and I'll come back to you with the final league table. Hello everyone, welcome back. So we have the statistics now, and it's going to be very interesting. This chart here is for the 300 KTAS. This one here is for the 600 KTAS. They're in descending order, sorry, of final roll rate. The way I've worked out the roll rates was to take time from the video, the number of rolls for that time, and then I've just gone 360 divided by that number divided by that number. It gives us a degrees per second. I'm pretty sure that should be right. So first of all, the ones with stars by them are talking points. So first of all, big 15, star there. I did something wrong. I measured something wrong in the video. If you watch it back, it will be very obvious, I'm sure. So I redid it, and that's what I got. Also, SU27, again, I did something wrong in the video, so I went back and redid it to get an accurate figure. Talking points for the MiG-19. Yeah, I mean, the MiG-19 is just bullshit, isn't it? It's every test I've done with the MiG-19, clearly the model is wrong. Acceleration is clearly wrong. Doesn't add up with any of the textbooks. The altitude, everything just seems to be wrong. And this as well, the roll rate, as far as I'm aware, correct me if I'm wrong, but as far as I'm aware, the roll rate is purely done by swept ailerons. So the roll rate should be, I think, terrible. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what I thought. It should be down there with the MiG-15. So again, complete BS from the MiG-19. Really needs fixing, assuming that I'm right, because it's just way too good in every aspect at the moment. Anyway, I shall leave that for them to sort out and you guys to discuss. 300 KTAS. Mirage is the king. Exactly what we thought. It is probably the smallest wingspan in there, maybe, if not one of the smallest wingspans with low weight and plenty of authority. And I've seen these things roll in real life at air shows, and they are just unstoppable. And I don't know how what it is about the Mirage that means that the pilot can take 219 degrees per second at 300 KTAS and 275 degrees per second at 600 KTAS. Why doesn't he black out? That doesn't make any sense to me. So again, I'll have to leave for you guys to figure that out. Now the F-15 is a shocker. Really is a shocker. I don't know why it's up so high. We're up at 205 degrees per second at 300 KTAS, 250 degrees per second. Amazing. At 600 KTAS, it's got a fairly big wingspan, and it just shouldn't be doing that. It shouldn't be possible. You've got a big wing, you're trying to sweep round, relatively big wingspan, big heavy body, lots of rotational inertia there you need to get going, and to me that's not right. Then again, you could argue it's got plenty of surface, plenty of roll surface for authority, so maybe that's what you can argue back against me. So I'll let you guys discuss what you think about the realism of the F-15 there. I'm not convinced, but there we go. It just doesn't follow basic logic, does it? It doesn't pass the logic test. Next, I'll just stick with 300 KTAS. MiGs 19p, that can't be right. F-80, wow, F-86 question mark. That, oh, man, this is confusing results, right? Doesn't sound right to me at all. Because again, you got swept ailerons on this, and you got an all-moving. You haven't got separate elevators, stabilizers, so it doesn't work for me being like that. But again, I'll see what you guys think about that. Seems a bit high for me. SU-33, needlessly high. So high, in fact, I'm going to go and quickly rewatch the video. Stand by. All that authority it's got from the rear.
Pull up.
Yeah, it's right. It's weird. Well, why is that such a better turn at a low speed than the SU-27? It just doesn't make sense. These results are so weird. I don't know. Maybe it's all about the limiters. Maybe it's all about the limiters today. I can't think of much else. MiG-21. It was okay. It was never going to do particularly well at low speed, I don't think. It doesn't do anything well at low speed. But, it's up there for an old early 60s plane. SU-27... plonk in the middle of the field. Actually quite impressive. Big, heavy wings. Big wing span and a big wing area. So I'm surprised it did midfield. I would have thought it would be down lower. But then again, you've got plenty of roll authority there. So there you go. F-18C, bang in the middle. 168 degrees per second. AV-8B. It makes sense. It's got very stubby little wings, so 165 degrees per second. F5E, a real disappointment down here at 300 knots. This is ideal for turning to rolling, really. I don't think the limiter has any effect at 300 knots, so It's just crap for whatever reason at 130 degrees per second. AGS 37 was never going to do. Sorry, the MiG-29, really disappointing, really slow. Can't work out why. No idea. 125 degrees per second. AGS 37 was pretty terrible, but it's not a fighter. I was never really expecting it to be particularly good. F-14B, absolutely horrible. And we knew it was going to be. Those big, straight, long wings, huge wingspan compared to anything else here. It was like a glider trying to roll, so it was always going to be crap. MiG-15, absolutely appalling. And at the end of the day, we knew it was. I read a book about a year ago. I can't remember exactly why. I think it was a mixture of the slanted back ailerons, slippage, and I think it had non-hydraulic aileron control. I stand to be corrected. Either way, it's a terrible roller. It's amazing the difference in roll rate of the speed of the MiG-15 and the F-86, who are contemporary buddies, obviously, so it's interesting. 600 KTAS. 600 KTAS, Mirage, 275 degrees per second. Absolutely amazing. That's, you know, it was 1.2 seconds or something to roll that. So the question is, like I asked earlier, how come this guy doesn't pass out? How come this guy, wherever he is, F-86, this guy here is passing out at just over 100 degrees per second in the F-86, but this guy here is perfectly happy at 275 degrees per second. It must be something to do with the design, like I said, the design of the roll axis of the aircraft and where the pilot's head is, how close his head is to that roll axis, and presumably his head is miles away from that roll axis with this aircraft, and with this aircraft, and like the F-16, it's perfectly at the roll axis. So let's see what you guys think. F-15C, again, amazing. Too good, question mark? But to me, aerodynamically, that doesn't make sense. You're trying to swing too much wing round to be able to do that. But see what you guys think. MiG-21, exactly where it should be, right at the top here. 247 is just a rocket spinning around. It's, you know, it was always going to do well. Aviate-B, real show stealer here. 234 degrees per second. I can kind of believe that because of its shape. You know, it's relatively, and it's got straight ailerons. Doesn't have stabilizers moving at the back, but I can believe that. It's not trying to shift too much air around when it's doing that roll. MiG-19P, I don't buy it. Let me know what you think. F5E starts coming alive up here. It's still restricted, but 209 degrees per second. Su-27 feels very restricted. In the middle field again. In fact, it's the same spot again. 5th, 6th place, whatever it is. 172 degrees per second, almost the same as it was in 300 knots, which is interesting because it should be able to roll a lot faster here, so it makes higher speed, so it makes me think it may be a restrictor due to, again, the pilot's maybe head position, location due to its roll axis maybe. Vigan going right up the league table here. I don't know how it's done so well, but it is aerodynamically suited to this short stubby delta wing at the end of the day, or thereabouts, so kind of makes sense. F-14B, it's tucked its wings in now, and so it's gone down to 140 degrees per second. I mean, it's still twice as slow as a Mirage to roll, even like this. But again, it's a big lump of a plane. It's over twice the weight of that plane. The wingspan is much bigger, even though it's tucked in. So, well, actually, yeah, it would be, won't it? So, it kind of makes sense. F-86, the guy passes out any more than this, probably for the reasons we talked about earlier. MiG-29A, a real disappointment. Today's real disappointment. Just terrible rolling. 92 degrees per second, nearly 3 times as slow as a Mirage 2000. In a dogfight, that difference may mean life or death. So why do you think that is so terrible? Everything about the plane suggests it should be better than the Su-27. Smaller wingspan, smaller wing surface. I would have thought more the same authority per kilo of aircraft. So doesn't look right to me. Again, maybe the reasons we spoke about earlier. Su-33, just absolutely terrible. At 600 knots, it just can't roll. I went back and tried again. It just can't roll. Cannot roll at 600 knots. Must be a limiter to stop something ripping off or something. Doesn't make any sense to me at all. You know, aerodynamically almost identical to the Su-27, and yet it's 3 times as bad. So something's wrong there, or whatever. And MiG-15, obviously, it just can't roll. For all the reasons we've spoken about before. So that's that. Some interesting results. Some of them I'm calling BS, but, you know, as ever, I'm happy to be wrong. Let me know your thoughts, because I did quite a lot of work in this, and I'd like to stimulate some conversation, which is what we do this for at the end of the day. To get people thinking and communicating with each other. Hope you enjoyed that, and see you later.